I wanted to share a little bit about my experience with solo parenting and homeschooling. My husband is in the military and he spends quite a bit of time not living in our house, and that presents with quite a few challenges. I didn't put down a lot of notes for it because there's not. I don't think there's one formula for every family. If depending on what your situation. Mine is my husband's gone for months at a time in large chunks. Some families have a husband that works for Monday through Friday and comes home on the weekends. Some is home for 1 week and gone for 3. You know, different families have different situations, and even within my military community of homeschool families, there's different ways that everybody kind of deals with the situation. The biggest thing for me is to give yourself a sanctuary. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but the stress level is real when you're the only parent in the house. And a lot of you know this. This is not news. But that's where I am right now, is my bedroom. My bedroom is off limits to my kids. They are not allowed in here. There's never any toys in here. This is the spot for mom to go to unplug if I need to. That's not to say that I don't let them climb into bed with me and cuddle. There are times when that happens. But if mommy's door is shut, mommy needs to have a break, and they need to respect that. And I'm very honest with them. I've told them that. And I let them have the same courtesy. If they need a minute, they're more than, because they miss daddy. It's gonna happen. And even if daddy's gone for a couple days, or if daddy's gone for a year, your kids miss their father, and that's okay. And they need to know that if they just need to grab a stuffed animal and cuddle in their bed, that's fine. They just need to, that needs to be communicated, that it's okay to miss daddy, and it's okay to kind of separate and unplug for a minute from the rest of the house. The other thing that we do, which is kind of a fun, silly thing, is we do special things that we only do when daddy's gone. Daddy hates eating mushrooms, which is a very silly thing and has nothing to do with homeschool, but when daddy's gone, we fry some mushrooms and put them on top of cheeseburgers. Or there's a couple TV shows that we save. The old Pink Panther cartoon is on Amazon Prime, and for whatever reason, that's the show that we have decided to watch on the nights when daddy's not home. And it's just a silly thing that the kids can kind of look forward to. That's just something that we do when daddy's gone. Just so they have something to look forward to, so we're not just living all the time being sad that daddy is gone. As far as specifically things about homeschool, be flexible, because there are days when you're going to be sad, and there's days when your kids are going to be sad, and you're not going to be a good teacher, and they're not going to be retaining the information if they're just sad and need a minute to cuddle with you. So be gracious, and those times to just sit on the couch and cuddle or read a book. Also be main patients. Let's say there aren't two parents in your home at this time. You're a solo parent. So you cannot get 2 adult people's worth of work done. On the days during the summer, when it's, you have to mow the lawn 3 times a week, the rest of the jobs are just not going to happen. If you're mowing the lawn 3 times a week, you're not going to get the same amount of school work done as if there were 2 parents in the house. So things like that, just adjust your expectations and do the work that is reasonable for your family to complete. Specifically for homeschooling, the biggest piece of advice that I can give you is adjust your expectations. There is only 1 adult in your house right now, so you can't do 2 adults worth of work. In the summer, when the grass is growing and the lawn needs mowed 3 times a week, you will not be able to get as much homeschool as you were doing when there was 2 parents and you could split those job responsibilities. That's just, you're only 1 person, so give yourself some grace in that, and So therefore you need to plan your homeschool so that only that one person can get it done and still manage your household and, you know, get your kids to different appointments and whatever they need to do. There's only one of you. So give yourself the manage your expectations so you can get things done. Ask for help. You have friends. I'm always willing to help watch my friends' kids, and I have a handful of friends that I can call. My kids love spending the day with grandma, and ask for help. It's okay. Even if it's just you can run to the grocery store by yourself, or some days when my son we're kind of butting heads on things, and sometimes Daddy would diffuse the situation, but he's not here. I have my son call Grandma and say, hey, can you work through this math problem with him? Grandma tells him the exact same way that I told him to do the math problem, but for some reason, he just needs to hear it from a different voice, and that's okay. Sometimes it's not you that he's mad at, it's the world and the situation that he's in, and you have to make the most of the situation, and it's okay to ask for help. Give yourself grace. Give your kids grace. Sometimes it's perfectly great time. We've had this past year, since my husband's been gone, we've had some really fun times with me and the kids. We've also had days when we are all four of us bawling, and it's horrible. And those are just the emotions that you're going through and your kids are going through. So take a minute to understand that and to allow it to happen, and get to know your kids. I've learned a lot about my kids this year, and they're really cool people, and I'm just really enjoyed. I really enjoyed this as much as I've missed their father being around. It's still been a good year, and you can make it a good year, and you can, if your husband's gone for huge chunks of time or small chunks of time, you can do it. It's quite possible.